Last time on the best Dishonored playthrough of all time, High Overseer Campbell finally got his comeuppance. After several not-so-successful attempts, Lemon Punch and I finally managed to kill him, ironically enough, with his own poison wine trap. Not only that, we definitely saved Corvo as well, as requested by Callista. As we sail away for the dreaded distillery, it seems things are finally looking up for Corvo. Hello YouTube! Back again with part 6 of my Dishonored playthrough. If you're stopping in for the first time, welcome. Not sure what took you so long, but better late than never. If you're a returning viewer, thanks for sticking around. I'm not entirely sure at what point I'm allowed to start begging for subscribers, but hey, the subscribe button is down there if you need it. FYI, so are the like and share buttons for those of you feeling generous. Oh, and if your name is Quincy, congratulations, you win! Anyways, on to the show. We arrive back at the Hound's Pit and Samuel informs us that Havelock and Pendleton were waiting for us outside.
I expect I'll want to congratulate you.
Callista was also waiting for us right at the dock, and I was very excited to be congratulated for saving her dumbass uncle and whatnot. But my excitement soon turned to confusion as Callista tells me that her uncle never came back from the meeting. I still actually have no idea what went wrong, but there's no time to be sad about it as Lemon Punch tells me about a cool thing we can do. He instructs me to kill Callista, and inexperienced fool that I am, I figured it wouldn't matter much cause she's just an NPC. Well, turns out it does, and soon after I get a game over cause the Loyalist conspiracy was dissolved. I guess Callista was the real brains behind the operation, and without her, everything fell apart. Now just having fun, Lemon Punch blows Callista up with a grenade and tries to go for Samuel, but doesn't make it in time. Then dissolves the Loyalists again by grenading Samuel and shooting Callista in the face as she tries to talk about her uncle again. Now done goofing around, we make our way up to talk to Havelock and Pendleton. Havelock tells me that I done good, basically, and that with Martin back in Campbell's journal, hopefully we'll get some clues to finding Emily.
And with Martin back, we'll have the finest strategist alive.
All in all, mostly stuff I expected. What I didn't expect was for him to pull out a gun mid-sentence. As you can see in the video, I was panicked, but fortunately he just wanted to punctuate his point by shooting some bottles that I assume he set up specifically for this conversation. They then go on to say something about the Lord Regent planning to unveil Emily soon, and something about infighting between the nobles before firing a couple more shots for good measure before giving me permission to rest.
Yes, time is against us. But now you should take a well-earned rest, Corvo.
Hiya folks, we interrupt your regularly scheduled Dishonored to bring you some breaking news. It appears someone made a bit of an oopsie whoopsie fucky wucky and forgot to record an entire play session. Not naming any names, but my money's on the guy who opened the video. He's been slacking off for a while now, so I wouldn't be surprised. Anyways, I was forced to pick up the slack and play through the entire game up to where we left off by myself. While the task was ultimately completed, there were a couple minor changes to the continuity that we'll be going over now. In the meantime, I'm going to find the jerk who caused all this and give him a piece of my mind. So let's try and be quick about this. We're back on the Serene boat ride from the first episode, and while I know we're trying to be quick here, I feel compelled to bring attention to Corvo in this moment. I feel like this singular scene speaks volumes about his character. Anyways, I refuse to play hide and seek with Emily and make my way quickly up to the Queen. Well, kinda. I take the time to dick around since, you know, I could, but that's not important for the purposes of this rundown. Skipping ahead a bit, a coup happens, I take the fall, yada yada. The prison break goes mostly the same, except way better. Most notably due to the invention of the crouch button. It's worth noting that I was far more thorough in this playthrough than the last time, specifically when it came to money. You'll see the results of my effort when we get to the mission finish screen. Nothing really of note happens here, and we make our way into the sewers quickly. Similarly to the prison break, the sewer is exactly the same as the first time, except significantly better. The first point of interest comes after I find my assassin's equipment, as there's a safe down here in the sewers with a note on it telling me to look to whiskey for the answer. Well, after 13 whole painstaking minutes, I did not find the answer to the safe. All things considered, I likely would have looked longer if I had not accidentally fallen into the next area. Comparatively, the rest of the sewer was a breeze. I killed everybody in the section, explored the area, found some interesting stuff, and in the end, made my way to my friend and yours, Samuel the Bowman. And finally, the first mission finish screen. As you can see, I found a lot more moolah this time around, and found a special action, but I took care to make sure the chaos stayed nice and high. That part of the continuity had to stay the same. All in all, though, I'd say this was a pretty successful run, and shows that Lemon Punch is really only slowing me down. Still pissed about the safe, though. Our time at the Hound's Pit went basically the same as last time, the only real difference lying in the amount of stuff I pilfer. Oh, but remember my feelings on Pyro kinda looking like Tucker from FMA? Well, I guess I just lost my temper, because I bashed his head in pretty good with the empty oil tank. On the bright side, he didn't seem too overly bothered. You know, until he died.
I speculated this might happen.
Oh my god!
My time in the Dreamscape went about the same as well, minus a couple pickups I missed the first time. I also gave my snazzy new disembodied heart a couple squeezes to see what it had to say about the Dreamscape. Turned out, it had a fair amount of juicy lore to deliver.
And the beginning.
From here, everything remains practically identical to the first go-around, minus perhaps the purchasing of a rune while grabbing items from Pyro, and a short swim from the Hound's Pit. Runes are the biggest overall shift in continuity, as I decided I'd pick up ones we didn't have before should I be going that direction to help in the coming missions. And boy did we need it. Breaking the trend set by the last two missions, this one went way better than the first time. Obviously, I make a beeline for Granny Rags, and quickly take care of the gentleman callers, and got my rewards before rescuing Griff and heading to the good Dr. Galvani's house. Galvani's house went quite a bit differently from last time, due in no small part to my efforts to explore. It's crazy the amount of stuff you find lying about when you look for it. By the way, did you know river crusts are vulnerable when they open their shells to spit acid at you? I didn't, but I do now, and look forward to when that information becomes relevant. That aside, it was a quick in-and-out job getting the pancreas. The last thing of note here at Galvani's was a safe in one of the rooms that I tragically never figured out how to open, and both this and the safe from earlier continued to weigh on my soul. The Battle Street Gang Distillery, of course, was a cakewalk. It'd be frankly embarrassing if I wasn't in and out in seconds. It's also around this point that I gave myself the upgrades we had around this point in the first run, but despite having runes left over, did not purchase anything else, fulfilling one half of the continuity I wanted to preserve. Also, I know what you guys want, and no, unfortunately, I was not able to inspire Firebomb Guard Aft to his destiny this time. If I remember correctly, it was around 2-something in the morning by this point, and honestly, there's just not enough time in the, well, night. Oh, and remember how I said it'd be embarrassing if this wasn't an in-and-out job? Well, it almost wasn't. But, fortunately, I'm kinda the best at video games, so we made it out with just a scratch.
'Tis but a scratch.
With that, I return to Granny, collect my prize, and make my way towards our final stop of the night, the High Overseer's office. I free Martin, do some murder, and quickly make my way into the Overseer's office the very same way as last time, determined to kill Campbell rather than go for the brand, but this time making sure to let him get to his panic room since I know there's a rune and lots of expensive goodies down there. The way I went about this was spilling the glasses and trying to make it to the panic room to lie in wait, but forgetting I can't actually get in without him opening it first. This works to my advantage though, as while I try to backtrack I run into Campbell himself, who ditches Kurnow in such a way that he never sees me and assumedly goes back to his post. Additionally, Campbell rushes straight past me to his panic room and opens it up while I'm still in the room, before turning to face me for our final confrontation. Mission failed successfully? Either way, with Kurnow rescued and Campbell killed, all that was left was to grab all my loot out of the panic room and make my way back to the window and out into the night. Now we find ourselves at the part of the playthrough that deviated the most from the first run, starting with taking active care not to kill Bertold this time. What can I say? Hindsight's 20/20. Well, what I didn't expect was to learn of a safe in an area called the bunkhouse, and for once, I actually had the combination. Fueled by a desire to right the wrongs of the past, I set out to find the safe. The search ultimately included a lot of murder and mutant doggo nap times, but TLDR, I found a rune, an object called a music box that'll soon be the bane of my existence, the aforementioned safe, and a rogue overseer shut away in a supply depot holding on to a bone charm for me. How nice of them. Anyways, after that, I was finally done in the decidedly less dreaded distillery this time around, and made my way back to Samuel, after which we shoved off back to the Hound's Pit. Here's the mission finish screen, and you know, I think I did a pretty bang-up job. The chaos was high, and all the objectives and special actions taken last time were taken, so the continuity has successfully been maintained. There were a few minor differences here and there, but overall, I'm happy, and the next mission looks the same as it should, and that's all that matters. I stopped by Callista on my way in to give her the good news and retrieve her mildly valuable heirloom before making my way to Halflock, and well, you know how that conversation went. Through many trials and tribulations, we managed to survive the distillery district and make it back to the Hound's Pit. And then I did it all again, preserving the continuity and ultimately coming out with heavier pockets and some cool new runes just waiting to empower us for the next mission to come. What actually is the next mission? Will all my work ultimately be worth it? Will he who shall not be named ever make the mistake leading to me needing to go through all that again? Well, I can tell you the answer to that last one is no, but as for the rest, you're just gonna have to tune in to the next thrilling installment of the greatest Dishonored playthrough of all time.